Hello, hello. Another Friday night.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
You know, all week has felt like Monday for some reason. I was surprised when I found out today was Friday already. Ah, so some neighbor here on the side of me with all the grass, where my one wall is. He does a little cutting today, or yesterday. This big circle, and then it leads up to my wall. But what they fail to realize is where he has cut to, the seller had to put in a road to get to my property, that guy I'm talking about property, and one more. But so I don't use the road. But this guy has to realize that he has to cut that in half. That his property doesn't go all the way up to my wall. So I mean, if we had to do it that way, then I get half of that, which I'm not turning a freaking wall down for half of. For a couple, like about 12 feet of road. And it's just that's the side I put the little dog on with the big mouth. Because I'm thinking you just made it easy for somebody to walk right up into the yard. Got a couple extra guys from the province, and I don't know. Those three guys work just as fast as the uh, having another two. You know, I just think the carpenter guy didn't want to have to be out there busting his ass every second like the laborers do. That's what he's doing. But I go out there once in a while and I watch him because I told the guy, I said, I was watching you guys from inside. And nobody did nothing until I opened the door. All of a sudden they jumped up and started working. So he was explaining that to another guy the other day. The guy's looking at the front sliding glass doors, and he's looking at the part of the kitchen extension to see where I was. And the kitchen extension is lit. There's light from the back by the door, so you're not totally invisible like you'd be at the other one. But I said, you guys here to work or laugh, man? If you got time to be laughing, you ain't working hard enough.
They got motion sensors on them.
No.
Something moves, then they got to get up and act like they're working.
Yeah, like in Home Alone 2. The guy's got the record on, and there's some cardboard cutout of Santa Claus or somebody going around and around. So I think it's just too freaking hot out there, man. Lately, oh my God. But it's been some nice breezes too. We got like the tail end of the breezes from the latest typhoon or tropical storm, whatever it was. Surprising how far they reach.
We had our first snow overnight.
We did, huh?
Yep.
Sorry to hear that.
And I'm getting over probably the worst head chest cold I've had. My voice is pretty much gone.
I got a cold too. I don't know where I got it from though.
In fact, it's snow flurrying right now as I speak. So
getting lake snow.
High of 38 today, I think.
Yeah, probably 92.
But I've been in the house all week because I've been sick. So
yeah, I've been sick too.
I just I hate when I lose my voice. Hey, did you hear if Christian, did he make it to Thailand yet? He should be there by now.
You said the end of the month, didn't he?
No, I thought he was leaving the 20th.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, he should be there, I think.
I don't know. I don't remember. Thought maybe he was going to be here tonight. Rather than him.
I looked on Messenger. It said he was online about an hour ago. So
Oh, well,
he's got connection wherever he's at.
yeah. Oh, he knows his people. He knows the way around there, I suppose. Where's he at?
Thailand.
When? What? Yeah, but what province?
Well, he
Whatever.
probably flew into Bangkok. I don't know where from there.
Oh, I know that. But I think, but the only thing about that, and whenever that Thailand Rob guy's in, he said he was going to be coming back to the States. That was like a year or two ago. I don't know if he ever came back. But, you know, because the new kid in town, shit wore off. Then he's down the realization that, you know, he has to rely on his YouTube money to pay his rent and all that, so it isn't as fun anymore. I think that guy's in his late 30s or something, maybe. Something like that, early 40s possibly. And, you know, he'd come back and work a little bit, man, because you're so skilled. Well, you probably won't see it, but it would be shit. You'd come back and work and go, man, I'm going to put in for that when I'm 62 and I find out you, like my sister, you got 3 more years to work or more, you know, before you can draw. So that dude's still there, though. But, I mean, Phuket. Tourist, you know, section and all that, but they had a tsunami while he was there, and Phuket had some damage, but not catastrophic. You know, I don't know where Christian's area. It's in there south of Bangkok somewhere. I used to Chiang Mai or something. I used
There's
to watch.
also Pattaya or Pattaya. I don't know how they pronounce it.
Yeah, Pattaya. There's a guy there. I think he used to be a radio guy because his girlfriend passed away.
Oh yeah, I've seen his chick. Rides for Chicks or something like that.
Right. I watched him in the Port of Joe there because Joe's our age. His birthday's in either April or August. And he changed his show name to have his girlfriend first. This dude built a house. It was like, I mean, what would it cost here? It would have costed low 100,000, something like that. He's got a swimming pool and all this good shit. Beautiful house. He has no legal right to it, but it's nice. But I don't know. He went there for shoulder surgery. He was in the army. Yeah, he had I think he might have been doing CIA work or something. He was based in Italy, and he retired. Oh man, I don't know how old he was when he retired, but he got nice. You know, he got nice. He had I think he was. I don't know if he was working a G level job or not. I don't understand. I didn't really follow that too closely. But him and that guy, I forget his name, but he'll like rent a condo for a year or 6 months or something, and then he'll go hunting for another one. You know, you could sleep. They showed one he featured that it only costed. There was no frills. It only costed $200 a month or less, $183. Now that was about 2 or 3 years ago, but still, you know, no air. You had, you know, if you wanted air conditioning, you had to get your own. But that foreigner Joe guy too, he now it's called Thai Gift, something or other. Her nickname is Gift or something. And him and her had a nice place. It was just outside city, and you know, freaking stray dogs are your friends, and kind of like a little small community where they're like motel rooms, but but bigger, a little bit bigger. And it looked really nice for the money he was spending. And then, whatever reason, he went out and bought a vehicle and built a house. And there's one of his ex-wives, because I think he was married twice. One of his ex-wives said, "Well, see you buy that, and you got time for that now, and you buy this and that, and whatever." And he's like, "Well, I had to work before. What was I supposed to do?" So I don't know if I'd have went that far, man. I had a reason and a purpose here is for my son and my wife. But, for him, I don't need a swimming pool that bad. I mean, you get up, and go out your door, and it's like a studio apartment. You get out your door, walk across the street, and go in the water. Simple. So you see Michael lately?
No,
Me either. Jackass. I think Jack left a message once, but I got my phone on all day. I leave it in this room here. I'm all in and out of the house watching with guys.
have you heard from Simon lately?
No,
No, me neither.
no, it's the post for
I only heard from him when he was on here on Fridays with you.
posted a job, posted a temperature something or other, minus whatever Celsius 5. No, I thought when he was done with bird season, he was going to be more available.
Excuse me.
Maybe he comes on to Twit's got something going on.
Well, our oldest daughter, she loves her job. She got her job at the software development firm. And
Oh, that one you said last week. Is that the same one?
yeah, it's in the city.
Pittsburgh?
She's in an open office, like
Hmm.
goes from ceiling to floor, looking out. She doesn't have a great view, but she's got a view of like a dog park. People walking their dogs, and she never has to leave the office. All her work's done right there on computer. So it's a nice casual place. You can wear jeans, and Converse tennis shoes if you want.
Well, if it's that great and you got it going on, man, you're happy when you go to work.
Yeah,
Everything. No matter what
she's living at home, so.
No matter what you do, it gets monotonous. And when I was in the factory, I had 15 years. I was glad they eliminated. They were eliminating jobs because, well, it was a godsend actually, because the pension was only $800 a month, and I'd have been working till he died. You talk about having to put up shit like the job I was doing. Like do that start out at an advanced age. Golly, man. Everything. I had it good there too. But my job was set up, man, for the machines and the departments I covered. Would troubleshoot them, anything major. The tool room would get them. Mechanic, repairman, builder. But I got old too, and I was only guaranteed that salary. I was only guaranteed that wage for a year. After that, I would have had to drop from. I was making $18 an hour in 1999. I went from 18 down to 12. And I'm like,
yeah, well, you and I got lucky. Like when I quit college at 19 because I got a job in the mill,
Yeah.
and it was paying. I think I looked at my You know, when you get your Social Security statement, you have a history of earnings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think in 1981, I made $20,000, which was a lot back then.
$5
For
an hour.
no 20 20,000 a year.
I know. I'm saying hourly.
Yeah. No, I got like $12 an hour, and then they take out taxes, right? So
Yeah. You know what I
that was
hated.
good money.
You know what? Oh, yeah. Because mostly everybody else was making three something. But when I had my first job at a place called Prime Manufacturing, they made stuff for the locomotive for train. I don't know. I don't really remember what. But what I get? I was getting 5 something an hour there, 5.25, and I had to pay to get into the union. I had to pay $100 plus $75 a month, and I was making $475 an hour. I had
Right.
to pay, they took out 75 bucks a month out of my. I was only making 475,
Right.
and I had to pay the same shit as the CNC operators. And I'm like,
So who's that tell you is making all the money, right?
fuck yeah! I mean, like
Union
this
bosses.
ridiculous. Yeah, I didn't mind. I didn't mind being in a union, but man, I went to one union meeting, and most of them dudes there were all we would call it skilled production. They were all money makers, man. I'm like, fuck this. I never went to another meeting there. I thought, what a fucking rip off. I'm making shit from when I was 18, living at home. Or yeah, I started that job on my birthday, the 18th, 1979, October 3rd. Then I ended up working across the street from that place back in the late 90s. And I worked with a couple of guys from that factory. And I remember, I didn't think about pensions. I mean, and then that place, what they're trying to do with the county job is trying to do that like a lot of other jobs where there is no company pension. There's a 401k system, and they kick in a certain amount, and you kick in a certain amount. But the way the world goes now, you live in your pension lives and dies according to the economy of the world. You know,
Yeah.
and it was
Well,
different.
it's how you place your stocks. If you want high risk or
Well,
government bonds, you
yeah,
can play
even
it
though,
safe. You can play it safe and do government bonds, but you're going to
well,
get a small percentage. You
but
know.
yeah, that logic that worked in the '90s, but it didn't matter. I mean, you're on a world economy, not just the United States economy, which means it has dips and rises all over the place. So we had guys that worked that were getting pensions from other places that lost. One guy lost $8,000 one month. In that 2008,
Yeah.
fucking 8,000. I mean, he had a shitload in there, but he didn't have it all on. He didn't have it all on wild stuff. When I was in the factory, I didn't get in that initially. I'm like, I can fuck that. What do I need that for? So I put myself down for 1%. I don't know how many years I had 1%. Just never looked at the envelope when I got it. Just put it away out of mind. And you look at it down the road. And I jacked that up to 6%. I made more in that 6 months at 6% than I did a couple of years at 1%. It was good in the '90s, boy. You could make some money, till everything changed. But it's all cutthroat now, man. Before you could leave it in something and just cruise. Now you gotta pay attention to the market. But anyway, I'm glad that's all done with, man.
I remember my ex-wife, her grandparents they were really nice. They were old. They were frugal people. You know what I mean? I mean, they
Yeah.
lived. He was a butcher. He owned his own butcher shop, but they were real thrifty. And I heard told me once that they had bought stock in Standard Oil like in
Yeah.
1930, right?
Mm.
And just think of all the times that shit has split, you know,
Yeah.
going
Oh yeah.
become different companies like Exxon or whatever. And
Yeah.
I don't know
So,
whatever happened to all that damn money.
Ohio, like a
Yeah,
standard.
might have been that Standard of Ohio. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I don't know whoever got all that money. You know, because they only had two kids, and my wife's parents only had two kids. So I
Mm.
mean, my ex-wife's parents. So
You know,
I
I
don't know
thought it
who
was.
got all that stock in Standard Oil, but sure wasn't me or us.
I used to think it was pointless to do that kind of thing. You know. Fuck, I forgot.
Remember back in the day, they used to push
Oh,
savings
yeah.
bonds.
Oh, yeah, yeah. There you go.
You'd buy a
Matter-
$50 one, and if you wait like what 10 years, it's worth 100, right?
That's my story, man. My employer at the factory, Master Lock, for attendance, they gave out $50 savings bonds. I thought, fucking shit, you know. Throw it away. I'd put it somewhere, forget about it, you know, because it took so long to mature. But my daughter Amy was going on a trip to New York City from her band. She played a viola, and they were going there from orchestra or band or something. It was orchestra.
Hey, that's what my daughter's doing tomorrow. My high school daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, their show choir is going to New York City for a
And
day
yeah,
trip.
they went to Carnegie and all of that, you know.
Right. Yep.
So
They're gonna go see the Rockettes.
so my ex-wife, her mother says, "Hey, do you mind if we can Amy use the money from the
Savings bonds.
bonds to you know for the trip?" I said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" You know, most guys would have been assholes, I guess. I said, "Go ahead. I don't even know what they're worth. They're $900, man." I had $900. I said, "Sure, go ahead." Yeah, I don't
But
need
then what I found out, you got to pay taxes on that because when you cash it in at the bank, they report it to the IRS. Like I cashed in a $50 one for my oldest boy, and it was worth $157 now. So all that interest, $107, they taxed me on it.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that part because we were separated then. So I'm sure I had to put that on minors because the what do you call it was in my name. So I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they'll do an audit. You know, that was like how long ago was that? She's 30 now. That'll be 31. Yeah, but point being, you know, I said, yeah, go ahead, man. Otherwise, I don't know if I'd have been able to do that, you know. I probably could have, but I would have put myself in a shithole. I didn't really worry about you know, when it came to stuff like that, I was always like, yeah, you know, their mother wanted me to help them with car insurance. And I said, I had some stipulations, you know. I said, hey, they were 16, you know, so I said, I'm going to be. And I said, I wanted to go out and look for a job. She's bitching and moaning about. I said, I didn't say they had to get a job and be doing something they don't want to do. I said all I want them to do is go out and look. And she wouldn't agree with that. I said, fuck it, I ain't help. She wanted me to help out with the car insurance. I said, forget it. You know, because you can't even do a simple thing like all you had to do is say okay, and then and bullshit me and say, well, yeah, they went, but they couldn't find. Okay, I'd have been, you know, stuck right into it. But she wanted to be a fucking bitch. So I said, okay, forget it. You don't get, you know, I ain't doing shit. I said, this is the only thing I ask that they do. you know, and she won't even do it. And I said, anyway, I ended up okay. She came over once. She had this car, and it needed a light bulb, brake. Yeah, I think it had that combo tail light, brake light thing. And she comes over, and I bought them for her. There are two of them in a pack. She says, "Well, do I have to pay you for that?" It was like, I don't know what it cost me, $2 or $5, I forget. I know you don't have to pay me for that. You don't even have to ask me. It's just kind of. So we all do what we can do. As long as I'm able to do it, it ain't gonna make me destitute. It doesn't matter to me what it is. They wanted me as a co-signer for her car. Her car or his car? It might have been my son's car. No, it was my daughter's car. They said financially I had a big enough knot as it was, because I had the house and a brand new F-150, and an El Camino, which I never got to do anything with because I worked all the time. My whole life, from start to finish in that place was. Now I only made it to one of my daughter's tennis matches. She went out to one. This big girl. She's playing this big girl, and my daughter got into social work with her degree. Now she got a master's. But she could have beat this girl's ass easy, and she didn't even try. I'm like, why didn't you do what you have to do? You make yourself look terrible. She goes, I don't. I said, yeah, but it's your team. It's from school, It might matter to somebody. But I could only make it to one. I always, when it comes to my son's baseball, T-ball, they were both in it, but another one I had to wheel and deal with days, man. Constantly trading. I'll give you my Saturday for your Tuesday, that kind of thing.
I don't know. Well, I just naturally, I can't see athletes that don't give an effort,
Oh, yeah.
especially when you got the talent. Like
Mm.
I maybe it was me being that baby brother, and always getting beat on, that gave me incentive to go balls to the wall all the time, because
Yeah.
I had to compete with the bigger, older guys, So that's one thing. Every coach I ever had, I mean, I may not have had talent, but they never. I mean, they always told me that, man, I don't know where you get your drive from. I
Yeah.
wish all your teammates had that. But it was just from being the smallest and the youngest, and having to spin your wheels faster than everybody else.
Yeah, I was the white kid in the predominantly Latino neighborhood. So not looking like a athlete of any kind. I always had to prove myself. I always had to prove myself. And when I would get picked last or second to last, and whatever one I went on, we won because I wanted to show them what I could do. And when I was that young, I was fast. And they would after that they'd pick me to do a little bit differently. But when the opportunity came my way, man, I made the most of it.
Yeah, that's like, I don't know about your wife, but it just seems Filipino mothers. She's like, "Oh, why are you so tough on the kids?" I'm like, man, they got to put out effort. You can't go through life slacking.
No. Mm-mm.
Trying to
No, I
trying to
kind of,
light a little fire under them, you know? Get
what
off
happened,
your ass, get away from social media, get off your electronic device and go out and physically do something, you know?
I had, I had that, back then we didn't have all that, but, um, I like doing it, I like running track. I ran a mile was my forte there. But if I would have had my track coach, the one that passed away, I think I mentioned it last week. He was, my dad came to one. Yeah, he came to one junior high. That was it. So I was on my own for the rest of that shit. And it was really cool to have the coach that I did because the coach I had, his forte was social work. He was a guidance counselor, that kind of thing. And when I was reading his obituary, I had totally forgotten it. Why would I carry it around with me my whole life? But when they mentioned it, they mentioned he retired at 50, I think, 50 or 52, 55 something, and he finished out his career like the last couple of years, if not 5 years, at some other school. I think it was might have been a grade school. I don't remember the name, but I thought to myself, why did he, without asking anybody else the question in the forum, I thought, oh yeah, man, I think I heard something. I didn't want to bring it up because he just passed away. Everybody loves him. Everybody that he had ever coached, or everybody that he's ever known, through all of us students through school from the years, because he got to South Division in like 1967, and the guy was loved by everybody, and held in a very hard regard. And if it would have been for him, I don't know what the fuck my after school stuff would have been like. I used to ask him. I used to say, hey, you looking for a runner because he might have been a couple short for an event. And I said, hey, I'll run that if I get if I can get a third place ribbon, not knowing that I actually had to go out and finish in third to go get it. But he goes, yeah, sure. I'd go out there. Okay, I can get at least third. With my back, unbeknownst to me, the issues that I have now, I had back then, but nobody looked at that shit back then. Nobody said, hey, maybe you got a spinal stenosis. I didn't know how to split, man, let alone talk about it.
I mean, I can't remember, maybe once or twice, my parents ever coming to one of my sport events, I mean, they'd drop me off, pick me up, but I knew they had a busy life, they had other kids, they were working, they were housework, and, so I never held that against them. When I went out and competed, I did it for myself,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I didn't do it to get their approval or
Well,
anything,
my,
I did it for myself.
yeah, I did too. My dad had a lot of trophies. I thought, no, oh man, I want to get more awards than that. So I got my track on. I left them at the other house I lived at, man. I threw them in the fucking garbage. I know it. But I had had all first, second, third places. The only time I didn't finish well, a couple of races where my back, I just couldn't do it, man. It was like sponge, And he, other kids on the other team that the host in school would be rooting me on, and I just got used to that. After a while, I didn't want to be. That was my way of not having to be around him. And then when he tried to make up for that, it was too late. I mean, you need that shit in your informative years, man. When you're 5 years old, all the way up from whatever toddler up to 15 or whatever. But I had my coach. It was like the guy was like a brother to everybody. He was a short guy, probably 5'5", maybe or less. But nobody talked shit to him, man. He was cool. Always had the same. Level, the voice level. It never got high and it never got low. Always. So when I saw the bio, one of his thing, and it said he he was at South Division for how many years, and then it said this other school. And I thought, well, how come he didn't finish at South Division? I'm thinking, oh yeah, man. You know, I didn't want to ask anybody at the time because everybody's praising him. I said, yeah, now I remember. I think he got the boot. You know, I don't know why. I think because he was too kid friendly. Sometimes the girls would hang out in there just to get out. Anybody that didn't want to attend the class would hang out in his office. And they did that all the time. So maybe when we got that Mr. Davis, the black principal, I mean, maybe he didn't like him. That guy was a motherfucker, man. Oh my God. This dude looked at me one time. He had my mother in there, suspended me. This kid started shit with me, was picking on me. I got up. I didn't throw it. You know, everybody thought I was going to throw a chair. I didn't throw a chair. I just sat down again. I didn't even know who this guy was. And it was on a Friday, and the dude was in wood shop and cut his fingers off on his right hand on an ankle. And he goes, "Well, I guess I can't fight you now." And I was never happier, man. I'm like, because this dude was bigger. So I guess
cut his fingers off.
Yeah, he ran the board through with his fingers underneath.
Oh man.
So we had this principal, a vice principal, and Mr. Davis, and you know I still call him Mr. I could use other words, but he was a prick, you know. So I get suspended. I said, what's this for? You know, I had my mom in there. Well, we had witnesses that said that you threw this and that and the other. Get out of town. What the fuck would I do that? I said, I'm the one that got assaulted, not me doing that to somebody else. And he looks me up and down like I was a piece of shit. I thought, fuck you, motherfucker. You don't like white people, you bitch. You know, I said, Mom, the guy's lying. I was just beside myself. I said, the witnesses that said that were friends of the fucking guy that wanted to kick my ass. That's who they were. I just couldn't think of it right away because one of them was my brother-in-law's friend that I started lifting weights with for a little while. He wanted me to pay him like a gym, you know, but I didn't have no job at the time. You know, this guy was kind of fucking a little bit weird too, man. I hooked him up with a blind date one time. He had a 68 Charger. His dad had died when he was a kid. This thing was sweet looking, and then I found out how sweet it wasn't because he has quarter panel. We were at a convenience store. He backed straight up into this pole, just cracked all that fucking Bondo on the left quarter. And I mean, it was sheets of Bondo. So it must have been a real sheet. It was a 68 Charger. I don't know. I forget the engine. He might have had the 340. I don't know. But the 383 maybe. I don't know. But we backed into that. He goes, yeah, it's over. I said, why you say that? I'm gonna kill myself. Yeah, okay. But he scared them chicks away. The one I got for him, or tried to get for him. You know, he was like a year older than me, a year or two. But he was a fucking. He lived at home with that. His lower body, his upper body, he could he'd flex, and his shit would just come rippling. You know, like Mr. Universe. You know, everything, all your separate muscles, except below the waist, he couldn't. I forget what his situation was, but his legs were like spindles, you know. His lower body would not develop for whatever reason. So he said, I can work through you. I can have you look the way I always wanted to look. Though I didn't know I had that issue with the back then either, you know. Besides, if I'd have told my dad, they wouldn't have fucking did anything for me anyway. You know? So then he got real nice, sit there and wax his car on Saturday, man. And look at get a burgundy LeSabre, 73. This was in 77. I had that car shining like a brand new car, man. Always got compliments, you know. And he didn't lift a finger. I said, yeah, you use your car tonight? And whenever he told me no, I'd have a shit fit, But when I did, man, it was the coolest thing in the world. When you're 16, you got a driver's license. You got that freaking steering wheel in your hands. You got the radio. I pulled a car around one time, and he waited, watched me down the street, and I kind of made the wheels chirp in the corner. Oh man, I had good times, but
Every time I hear Steve Miller Band, it reminds me of driving around when I was 16 years old.
Steve Miller,
in my old car.
Yeah.
Jungle Love.
Yeah.
Rockin' Me Baby. Yeah.
Yeah, those were
Played the shit out of that in my cassette player.
Hey, I had a factory 8-track in the 76 Firebird
I had one of my 77 Ford F-250.
I got rid of it.
8-track.
I dug that fucker out, and I used that. I put my equalizer below in the console and covered it up with that thing. And one of the guys I worked with, I think he tried. Somebody broke into my car once. All they took was my cigarettes. And the dude knew where it was, but I had that stereo. I sometimes I would forget to turn it down when I was coming down the street. I had that thing cranking, man. Those are good times. I think that if I'd had it differently, if I'd had more of a father, see, the things I found out about him, I found out recently, after he passed, that my mother started talking. I'm thinking, boy, oh boy, if I'd only known all about that shit then, I probably wouldn't even have got married the way I did.
I wish I would have had someone tell me, quit spending all your time and money on chasing tail.
Yeah.
I wish someone would give me that advice.
You know what? But when you're that age, you think
we still wouldn't have listened.
Yeah, you think pussy's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
There's still too much testosterone floating around.
Yeah. Oof. Nowadays, you can care less.
Yeah.
Like when I was younger,
just give me a beer.
When I was younger, I used to think, I'd hear older guys go, nah, they don't this and that. Like, yeah, you fucking crazy. What are you talking about? But I said, you got a whole lot of things in life, or more than that. You got a home, you got your family, you got your job, you got whatever. And they all, all that extra shit takes a back seat. So sometimes literally.
But you remember, you'd see these old guys that had these beautiful young babes all over them, and they're like, they could care less about the woman,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I might some smart refusals when I was young. I never thought I would refuse, but things could have been a little bit a lot different for me. So that does show that I had some kind of smarts and the key to knowing when to get the hell out of Dodge. I thought Christian was leaving the end of the month. What's today? 22?
Yeah. Old Kennedy got shot today. 61 years ago.
Here, yeah.
1963.
Yeah, I know.
We were both 2-year-olds.
Yeah. Yep. I remember Bobby's funeral, though.
Somebody I don't remember any of it.
Bobby, somebody was he had his casket on a train, and somebody got killed on the tracks. They got stuck on a rail or some shit. I forget what. But yeah, when I met Junior, when I met RK Junior, he was like 79, I think. Jesus, the guy looked just like his father, exactly like his father, man. That was amazing. That was the biggest surprise of my life. You know,
Who
after
you
all,
talking about, John F. Kennedy Jr. or Robert F. Kennedy Jr.?
Robert.
Like the one that's in the news now in Trump's
Yeah,
casket?
yeah.
You met him in 79?
Shook hands with him, yeah. Yeah, to do it. I told you, man, I said this story before. We were in a line to watch a movie theater, and it was uh, October, September. It was kind of, I had my field jacket on. I had long hair, and we were there with the girlfriends we had. I don't know who the other two people were, but I see, I look on to my left a little bit. I see this commotion. I see these guys with suits. I thought, what the fuck is that? I turn back around, and I feel a tap on my shoulder. And I turn around, and he's right there, like 2 feet from me. And I'm like, and I fell down, because I couldn't believe it. I mean, right away I go, God, this guy looks like his father, exactly like his father. And I got up, because I kind of fell down, not flat, one hand hit the ground. I'm like, he said, yeah, I get that a lot. People freaking out. So if you ever see anybody on these commercials and they turn around, they get all, it really do, it's really true. Because, all the while while you're a kid, you're thinking of like that's American royalty, the Kennedys, And I got up, and he shook hands with me and talking about the uncle. I was just, I'd have had a plan if I'd have known he was going to be there. I'd have mentioned to him how different, the country would have been different had his father been able to serve and his uncle. When his uncle got killed, he got killed. King got killed, Malcolm X, and everything just kind of like petered out, because everything was changing. So socially, society, and all the music was about change or togetherness, and
Yeah, my next older brother, he was like a flower child, played in bands and.
You know what I thought was weird, because I couldn't wait. I wanted to be about 5 years older than what it was. Because all these hippies, we had a one house. They painted each wall a different color. And next to us, in front of us, and I could smell weed. I couldn't wait to get old smoke. Well, I used to take a couple of hits with this. We lived in a back house on the property, and the front house this Puerto Rican guy named Henry. He was married to one of my classmates' sisters, Rubio, last name. And once in a while, Harry, his name was Harry. Harry would light up a doobie, invite me in, and do a little token, And Harry liked me, so I was about, what was I, about 14 then, maybe? I think I was 14.
No, I remember like when we were late 60s, when we were only like, 7, 8 years old. My cousins next door, who were much older than me, man, they were always like happy and laughing. They were probably stoned all the time,
Yeah.
And as I got older in my teenage years, and then I was kind of like shocked, like these people that I considered, like grown-ups because they were older than me. That they got high too,
Yeah.
So I guess they realized I had hit the age where I could start smoking with them, right?
Oh,
it was a big revelation to me. I'm like, wow, older people smoke too.
I didn't really do that. I don't think yeah, well, I did it before that. My cousin Mike had this bowl, and we used to toke out of it. It was like an octagon shape. That was the first time I ever got high with her, was in Ohio. And he remembered that because it was Miss Universe was on. Hey, Simon, Miss Universe was on, and my cousin, they introduced her, whatever, and said Miss Chile. He said, he moved his tongue and everything. I said, man, that's nasty. He goes, it's all pink inside. I never, I was 12 years old, man. I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. I knew what he was talking about. It's just that a little Mr. Shy. Yeah.
I remember one time my cousin Keith, we all went down to this park and we were sitting in a circle. And I don't know what dope he had, but it was the most powerful that I had ever. I mean, I wasn't
Maybe
that big into smoking it, but I had driven my Ford F-250 4-wheel drive, right? And it was
Yeah.
like a lifted truck.
Yeah.
I got home. I don't know how I got home. I remember in bed, though, I thought I was dying because you know how they say you have out of body experience?
Yeah.
Like
Mushrooms,
I
you
was
ate mushrooms?
laying in my bed and I felt like I was floating above my
You must,
body.
you sure you went on mushrooms? Eat mushrooms?
And
Wild mushrooms?
I remember telling God, please let me wake up from this. I'll never do that shit again, you know? And I did. I woke up in the morning and I literally
Nice.
had to like pinch myself, you know? They're like, am I really here? And then I looked out the driveway. My fucking truck was parked like at a 45-degree angle up the hill. And it was a manual, you know?
Oh,
So
Lord.
obviously I was smart enough to park it in gear, you know.
Yeah.
I looked at it and I'm like, I'll park my truck.
Nice.
And then I realized I'm like, oh shit, that was me. Because I don't
Simon,
even remember driving home. I was that fucked up.
Simon,
And
Adrian.
it must have been some really weird shit that he had because
Listen, I thought my dad knew all about the smell of pot. Shit, he didn't know anything because my oldest sister's uh, husband, or at the time it was boyfriend, the mother was a nurse, and his mother had a lot of kids, so she knew what it smelled like. So I'm upstairs with my friend George. I got this car seat out of I don't know what. I'm using that up in my room. And all of a sudden, my dad must have snuck up. I didn't hear him because this house, the room was built after the house, way after the house was built. It was an old house anyway. But just as I took a hit and I dropped my hand. I dropped my hand. He come busting through the door, man. He goes, "What's that smell?" I said, "Incense." Right away. That's the only thing I could think of. My friend goes, my dad, I ain't shitting you when I said my dad would have threw me out the fucking window, man. He said, "Where is it?" And I knocked the cherry off of it. So, he starts stumping on it, putting it out. I'm like, okay. He goes, don't do that shit up here no more. You shouldn't be smoking. Okay. He thought it was cigarettes. But that was, thank God that one time he didn't know. Because I would have been, honest to God, man, I would have been a beaten for the century, man.
I tell you what, my mother had the most sensitive nose.
You gotta say hi to these guys, man.
Oh, hi, Adrian.
Adrian, Simon, Connie.
Simon's here. Hi, Simon.
Yeah, busy even though I'm retired. Yeah, doing not well for me. Doing nothing can be exhausting. Around here, I watch people work because I'm not like a dummy. Well, I had this other brainstorm here. You know that area? Oh, you didn't see that film, but there's a covered parking area, and maybe a table in there, card table or whatever. I can put outdoor furniture, and I decided while they're putting up the wall for the fence, finishing the driveway and doing the wall, the fence, which is concrete cinder block. I thought, hey, it'd be a good idea because aesthetically, I look and I go, I don't like that, man. Because you got this nice design of the roof, and then you got this other piece that really doesn't fit it. And I thought, well, I could use some more coverage here because I'm in the sun all day. So especially now in the winter, the sun's more to my right side. And I thought, well, I'll continue that all the way over. But that little extra thing cost me, I probably spent 5,000. Materials mostly, like 52,000, 52,000, I think. I paid 22 up front or something, or 30 or whatever, and then 22 when they're done. So I thought, well, I'll do that too. But everybody has all these genius ideas of how to use this space. But I haven't even done yet. I'm going to occupy. See, the driveway that I got through that lot I bought, that I have to turn right or left and back in or back out, and that's my way of getting out and in. Is to have either end unoccupied, so I can do that. If I allow people to start parking all over, they're going to be in the way. Because when the turning radius on that truck ain't that great. So when if I come in and I turn to my right, I can back straight up into my spot like I am now. But either way, I need the space. Yeah, what's going on there in Maryville, England, man? They got some snow today there. It got cold. Yeah, I had some close times, man. My uncle didn't know either, man. My uncle would have went in Ohio there. He would have. I learned my lesson. Me and my cousin Steve were in the bar drinking. I was 14. He was 13. He was serving us. One of the patrons, they went and ratted on us. They told my uncle, and we were sitting in the back of the bar. I could see the front. I go, shit, man, your dad's here. I bolted out the side. I went out the side door. And he got a hold of my cousin. He got a hold of my cousin all the way there, all the way home. And he's going, "You think you come from Milwaukee, you can do what you want?" I said, "No, sir. I'm about 15 feet in front of him, man." And I wanted to laugh because I was watching my cousin brace for the next whop. My uncle had big hands, man. He's trying to get away from him as far as he can, but my uncle's got him by the hair. And wow. He come up and put that palm across his cheek there, man. And that hurt. And I knew I was relieved when he said, "You guys get upstairs."
It was always funny when someone else was getting the ass whooping.
But I didn't want to outwardly laugh because my uncle would have freaking told me to come over there. I didn't want to disappoint him or disrespect him. With my dad, I didn't give a shit, but with him, he was always good to me. And I just never seen nobody other than myself getting a handful of, my face getting a handful of palm. And my uncle had big mitts. And I'm just watching my cousin take them blows. I want to start laughing. And I'm going, "It looks like it hurt, man."
Tony, I think Adrian's asking if you were affected by the flooding, but you weren't anywhere near it.
No. I'm way down here in Mindanao. I'm not up there by the Twit. Nah, I don't. Down here, you know what? We had a tsunami warning a few months ago. And everybody's asking me about this. Fuck, they knew, but I didn't. People don't plan for nothing around
Tony,
here.
did you feel that earthquake? There was like a 5.0 last week or so. No.
Nah. Where was it at? Where's the center?
It was southern Mindanao. So.
Oh, Cotabato or Jinsan or Davao?
Yeah, I think off the coast of Davao.
No, I built my property here. I don't know what this is in meters. I got 690 square meters, and I put 3.5 feet of dirt. I don't know what the math is on that. 3.5 feet of dirt into whatever 690 square meters in feet. Because that's over 12 It's 12 inches a foot. That's 36 inches. There's a lot of dirt, man. And now they're doing a driveway. There was a shitload of dirt to backfill, you know. Let's see, Chris, what? Oh, he did? I don't even know. Yeah, dude, they got hammered again yesterday or today with another typhoon, the rain at least. I don't think they're on the dirty side. With the dirty side of a typhoon or a hurricane is when that thing spins in all the area that it like flicks all that rain and shit and winds. No, we haven't even had Butuan's been known to have flooding here once in a while, but there hasn't been anything since pandemic. I mean, before that, I got a truck now, but I think I'll keep it. I was going to get rid of it. I mean, I'm getting the mileage up there. I think I have 3,000 kilometers on it. Blood damage, huh? Yeah, now's the time for what do you call it? Super chats. We're not that far from we're right down the road from the river here. And there's a big old lot of squatters live down there. They got this ferry there that's been docked there for quite a while. And I never noticed it like 2 weeks ago, and I looked and I left. What? I didn't know the river was that close. So it's pretty deep if it's got that boat sitting in it.
You mean the river on the east side of Butuan?
For me, let me see. For me, where I'm at, I'm on the northeast side in Silangan. Oh, it's called Silangan. Banding, Barangay Banding. And if you go down the road, which like a minute, it's got this big wall and all of that. I didn't realize we were that close. So these little.
I'm talking about the river. You know that big bridge. If you're heading out of the main street of Butuan City, going east, you cross that big bridge over the river.
Yeah,
you live on that river.
Yeah.
But you live on the city side, not like on the other side of the river. You know what I'm saying? Because that river kind of goes north and south.
Yeah, our I thought the river went east and west. But yeah, we're over there. We're it's a bit of a ride to the bridge from here. So I'm at, as far as the barangay I live in, it if you go down the road here, you go what would it be? East a little bit, northeast, and run right into the river, and then it has this little trip, canal.
So how high would you say your elevation is for like sea level from where your house is?
I have no idea. All I know is
you're not up on a hill, right?
No, I can tell you this. The only thing I know is when the architect was here, because they put in a new road through from Upper Dugan to the river. They put in a brand new road, and he has this stick out there, and he's measuring, surveying, and he says, just that road is 5 feet higher than where we're standing. So he says 5 feet. So they're supposedly they're coming through each side street here in 2026, put in some concrete. So we'll see. I think that may hurt it more than help it, because right now the ground, what there is of ground and whatever they got here, clay or sand or whatever. I think it's clay and sand.
Now, when it rains real hard, does it pool in your yard or does it run off okay?
Oh, no, it don't pool because I'm 3.5 feet higher than it was before. If you don't put any, like one of my neighbors, he put enough to get him about a foot higher. So he doesn't, his ground is pretty saturated, but it's not standing water. But me, I'm the highest elevation here. Well, land wise. So I'm 3.5 feet high. Plus, another 6 for the wall. Last week, I bet he got a shitload of super chats for that. Man. Can't get everything up those stairs. Electronics mostly, huh? I might have tried that refrigerator with. Of course, if you don't have the help around, what are you going to do? I mean, that would trash any appliance. Yeah, man. Mr. Mold likes to visit that stuff. Adrian, you got to come over here full time. So you missed the fish and chips part. Like I missed my pizzeria pizzas. Matter of fact, I was contemplating a trip. The nearest S&R store to where I am is in Cagayan de Oro, 3 hours away, 3.5 hours away. I thought about ordering that shit online and then going to pick it up. Get a cooler or two so I could pack some ice and buy some frozen. Even in most cases, exception of one place, those frozen pizzas are better than anything here. What they call that. It's a freaking crime. Golly. I mean, what's his name? Greenwich, like a fast food joint, pizzas. It looks good. It's cooked nice, but it has no flavor. They don't have no garlic sprinkle in there and the sauce, and oregano and nothing. 5 feet deep. Ouch. Yeah, that'll mess up your kitchen appliances, huh? I think he had a pretty new refrigerator in his stove. Plus, this house is delivered. They got that step up for some reason when you go to the bedrooms. So there's an extra half a foot there. Wow, man. Sheesh. Month, huh? You gotta take it easy more than a month, man. I can't, honest to God, I tried to talk to my son because my son says they just got married. I think I sent you all a video. And I said, well, come, make sure you put this down for your vacation next year. Well, we got this and that, we're trying to make a baby. I said, you can try to make a baby here too. Because I flew to, for my 13A visa, a permanent resident card. I had to fly to Manila, and that was about an hour and a half, so that's about all I can take. I can't take that fucking 15 hours. So my only option would be to pick the seats they're outside the bathroom, but they're by the side door, by the wing door, where there's no seats in front of you, so you can stretch all you want. I almost had I don't even know what I would call it for the last time when I came here. I was moaning, man, and it just so happens the kid next to me is from Labonga, so I not out for 2 hours. I got 2 hours of sleep out of 30 some hours. 60, 63. So, I mean, I was hurting, man. Every time we had turbulence, I'd be going, oh, I'm making it. Kid would always say, "You're all right." I'd never answer him. I can't. That's coach, man. The only coach that I would take, I think that the ones by the wing there, by the bathroom doors, I think that's economy. I mean, I think that's coach. Not sure if that's what do you call it, economy? What do they call it? Premium economy? Don't know. But I made a lot of adjustments for upgrade and all that shit, and then I ended up not being able to go. Didn't I send you a copy of that video, people? My son's wedding. Well, they had a videographer there. They did a fantastic job with the wedding. The camera was amazing, man. Yeah, nice venue too, boy. It was something else. It was in an area. It was in an area of town that was like places you didn't go to for certain reasons. You just stayed away. But they really turned that third world ward, Walker's Point, they call it. Because they had all kinds of different founding fathers there, so Kilbourne, Clybourne, they used to divide the city, half this, half that. I got more than a month. I got to have more than a month, man. It takes me that long to get settled in here. If I went back and I had my sciatica, if I had that surgery, first off, I got to do the dance, we do the visits, then they charge your insurance company and they do some more visits and then they do the actual procedure. That's about 3 weeks, with recovery and all of that, that's like 3 weeks. But the other one, with the discs, they'd have to put in a cage, it's called, and that's a year of rehab. And man, some days I feel like I really need it, If before I get out of bed, if I bring my legs back, a little stretch from my waist, separates the buttocks area there. It feels a little bit okay, but it's enough. It's enough to make you have a shitty day, no matter what's going on around you. It's pleasant. Can't you, Adrian, can't you split time between Philippines here, like 6 months? Or you got nobody to watch your house? I know the government, I know my wife's got a cousin who was married to a constable there. He died. And she can't move back here full time because she wouldn't get paid his pension.
Hey, Cody, that reminds me. I remember hearing about a military buddy of mine. I was talking to other buddies, and we were talking. Hey, have you ever heard of this guy? What's he doing? And we were talking about this one guy. He retired from the Air Force, and he was single, and his job was house sitting for rich people.
What?
Because house sitting.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because these rich people, they got mansions, but they only live in them like 1 or 2 months a year. So they want someone there, just so it's, someone's there to watch over it.
Yeah.
So, you get to live in a mansion basically and get paid for it.
These
Not
guys
a bad
have
retirement job.
They showed a house to Madonna that's up for sale, and you could see, you know, L.A. downtown L.A. and everything. I just, yeah, how can you have that many houses? I mean, I wouldn't know where the hell to go. Yeah, where the warmer one. Yeah, I've heard of that before. I don't know what kind of background you got to have. Probably criminal free or something. Yeah, I can't do that. Like right now, like being being here, not having to go anywhere. What is it, November 20th? And I mean, it's like 90 degrees today, Fahrenheit. I don't know. A lot of people here, they don't even look at that. They just say the sun is strong. Hot is hot. It doesn't win any prizes whether it's 88 or 95. The last couple of days have been scorching. Best part of the day when you get up, you're working, you get out there and the wind's nice because Australia's got their spring or summer, and the winds are nice, beautiful, nice and cool.
It's 34 here.
34 Fahrenheit.
For all you metric people, that's 1 degree Celsius.
So, We'll see what the temperature is here.
It's almost 10 at night, so it's probably about 84.
Yeah, a couple nights last year, 2 years ago, it was got below 70. 74 is usually low, the usual low. But for whatever reason, it got down to like 65 or something, 63, and I'm like, it freaking felt cold, man. Can you imagine the poor folks that have those squatter houses by the river there on the other side of the wall here? Yeah, that's the Goosen River. Can you imagine that
They pronounce it Agusan.
Yeah, Agusan, whatever. That must be some kind of a mosquito magnet over there. Mosquito heaven for them, but bad for whoever's living.
I'll tell you, they loved my blood type. They ate the shit out of me when I was in Butuan.
I haven't really, I haven't bought any suntan lotion. I don't even know if you can get that here. But I don't really, I have my hat on mostly, so.
I wonder if it is it true if you eat a lot of garlic that kind of keeps them out because it oozes from your pores and they hate it.
Yeah, I've heard that. Garlic has many health benefits, but when it comes out of your pores, man, you smell like a clove of garlic.
Yeah, I don't care because I can't smell.
Yeah, that's true. So you could fart all day, and your wife could fart all day, and you wouldn't know it. Huh?
I know, but I always win the fart contest.
You know what I never understood, man? How can anybody that knew somebody did that, and then they just sit there with this smell? Yeah, I want to get the hell out, We had this guy driver, Cody. He became a route supervisor, but he come in one day and he's comical, man. He goes, hey, he's like, he makes sure he's on the other side of the room. He'll go, did you just fart? Real. I said, no. He goes, well, you look like. I said, well, I looked like I did because I was trying to keep myself from shitting myself.
Should have said, no, I'm just constipated.
Yeah, you know, I was just, he said, yeah, you look like you were trying. I said, no, I was just trying not to shit my pants. That's what I was trying to do. Yeah, Connie's got a job. She's gonna work. How long she's gonna work that job? For age in the rest of her life? There's Connie in her 40s. I don't even know. Yeah, but you're not working anymore either, huh? I mean, you can only watch so much TV, you know. It's stir crazy. And I look forward to summer coming, and summer sucks this past year in Wisconsin. You're like Colorado, man. And one day it's 70 something, the next day they're calling for snow. I like being here. I mean, that's the saving grace is the weather. We have we haven't had that many tremors this year. Last year we had a lot. And we can't get in from beef worth the shit down here in this island. Can't get pizza, real pizza. I'm not a big fish person. But hey, this is a trade out. I'll take it, you know. I don't really need all that shit anymore. At home, I can get in my car, go to the doctor. Here, we're going there on Saturday. Doctors have like open visits or whatever. You come there, whatever is bothering you. And hmm.
Weren't you the one that went to a doctor's appointment and the doctor didn't even show up, or he was late, very
Oh,
late?
yeah, they're always late, man. You know when somebody says their appointment's at 12, they show up at 2. I had to have an ultrasound done on my gallbladder because I had a stone there. And sat there for over almost 3 hours before I went into that room. They put that gel on, what do you call it? And the young lady that had that just freaking like almost half the bottle out on me. You know what I got done? She's wiping it, and then she kind of, I better stop wiping this old man, you know. And I sit up, and I still got a ton of this shit on. I mean, you go there on a Saturday. This is the cash money. This is the mad money for the doctor. He's supposed to be there for, I think, 6 or 8 hours. I think it's 6. And he sees all these people, and it's $500, 500 pesos a head. And there's, probably 40 people sitting. And when I went in, we weren't in first. And he's like, yeah, why do you take this med? You don't have to take this no more. You don't have ulcer anymore. Or arteries. He said my what do you call it was broken, cholesterol. And the bag one's a little low. Well, we were not in mind about that. We don't mean shit. And he's like, I was just in there like blah blah mood. He said, yeah, there's no reason why you can't, with all the medicines, you can't go out there and get you some pussy. I had my head down. My first reaction would be like, what the frick did this guy just say? I said, he said it twice, and I look at my wife, she got her head down. I'm thinking, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? He goes, well, I had to do something to make you laugh. I go, and I'm thinking, I didn't say nothing back like that. I was just so unbelievable. I never expected that coming. But initially I wanted to say, look, man, you can't talk that way about me. I was just trying to make sense of why he said what he said to make me laugh. But you don't need this, you don't need that. Well, so if I stop taking it, and in between now and 6 months from now, I have a heart attack because of the cholesterol, I got blockage. What do? You're screwed. So, yeah, working, huh? Hmm. I love the job, man. If you ever loved any job, I did. There's always somebody to make that job difficult to shitty, you know. Anytime you got new management people in on something, they got to do something just justify their existence. And then, I wound up raining out like crazy, which is okay because it's night. In about 13 other 2 weeks, and be able to drive my truck up the driveway. He did it in halves. But, you can feel how soft it is under my feet. You know? And he says, you should drive over it. You can walk on it at, what, 6 hours or so. Driving over it, 2 weeks at least. So I'm thinking, I got an order of hollow block, and it's sitting on the slabs that weren't. They'd just been poured for 3 days, 4 days before. And he goes, that'll be all right. So where the path was sitting with the block, there's now standing water. Standing water for a reason. But what are you gonna do? When I get that, what do you call it? I thought about putting something up over the driveway too. I think I'll leave it alone. That extra thing is gonna cost materials. Oh, materials is 32, labor. For materials, there's 22, labor is 32. 70,000. What's 70,000 pesos at 55.9? $1,000. More than 1,000. Shit. Let me see. Simon, still working? What did I say, people? 70 total. Yeah, about $1,200. That's pretty good too. I think that was somebody that tried to break in here once. The guy was cutting the grass. Why on earth would that guy cut a path right to my wall? And I don't think they're aware that that's a road, which because his land and my land got split for the road. 3 properties possibly that would use it. Hard to do it. Hard to like a job for 30 years, man. Well, we got some more rain. You hear anything about this latest round of rain? Injured up in the Canaroo Sur? I mean, the eye of that storm wasn't over. I think it was off to the east, but still. Hmm. Much better off getting around here. They only do it in one shade. Looks like cherry or mahogany. Uh, Wooden furniture just lacquered the shit out of it. Good for resisting. It's not going to mold up and destroy it. Flood water. And what if that's salt water, isn't it? I think it's salt water. I gotta give you a potty break here. You can't go over people. Now we got a million people over here. Oh yeah. I like to have the options I do here. If I go inside, outside. Rarely put a shirt on if I'm gonna go anywhere. Usually I'm just in the shorts if you do. When you do put shoes on, man, it feels like I got a wool coat. Sometimes an hour and a half. Yeah. Well, the wife's happy working, so you got a happy person coming home. Boy. Well, hopefully it won't get any more flooding up that way. I don't even know what happened with near Noggin there with the water levels. If they, receded and gone back to normal. If not, then it's from the rain they got. They got rise again. Sometimes it when it rains, it rains around here sometimes over 20, it rained 30 hours one time. I'm thinking, where's all this water going? Hard too. Well, Kiko,
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of surprised we didn't hear from Christian, but he might be out with his friends or just adjusting to the new time.
what Bill Ronald's doing, he got a new lady friend up there. I'm not sure.
Oh, he does?
I don't know, man. Maybe I'll have to call him during the week. He called me a couple times during the week, but
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we'll talk to you next week, huh?
yeah, you will.
Take care.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for stopping.
Adrian, Simon, take care. Glad to hear
Yeah.
everybody's okay.
Hmm. Yes,
All right,
sir.
good night, Joe.
Adios.